What's going on, guys? We're back in the shop, and today we've got a 4-inch ReadyLIFT SST kit. This is going to be for the 19 and up GM 1500 trucks. And if you're not familiar with the ReadyLIFT stuff, it's basically a leveling kit on steroids. Now this is 4 inches of total front end lift, 3 inches in the rear, so it gives you that leveled stance, but no diff drop, no knuckles, no cross members, nothing like that. So what it actually consists of is going to be a set of upper control arms to work at the new operating angle. These are actually bent significantly more to keep a good geometry on the upper ball joint while still having that down travel. We've got some preload spacers for the struts as well as top hat spacers. So this is actually going to compress the spring a little bit, actually giving it a little bit more height, less sag, as well as having a block on top of the strut to give you your 4 inches of total lifted height. In the back, some new blocks, U-bolts, and no new shocks, but we have shock extensions for back there. It's a very basic kit. This is basically as much as you can stretch the suspension of this factory truck at a safe operating angle. That's what this does. So it's much less invasive and be able to get a 4-inch lift out of it. Now, we're gonna get it installed, show you what it looks like in the truck, and then show you what the truck sits like afterwards. So let's get into it. All right, guys, now that we got everything installed, we'll go through, you can kind of see where it all sits now that it's all done. So right up front, we've got our ReadyLIFT upper control arms. As you can see at full droop, this has got a much better operating angle at the 4 inches. It's designed that way, that's why they include it. Back here, we've got our strut spacer, our preload spacer, which is gonna stiffen up this spring, give it less sag, also more lift. And we've got our strut spacer up here on top, giving us our final 4 inches of lift. That's all there is, no diff drop or anything like that, no CV spacers. No cutting required for this 4-inch lift. It's really just, as I stated before, a leveling kit on steroids. So pushing everything to its absolute max to get 4 inches. Let's go to the back and see what we got going on there. So out back here, we've got our 3-inch block with new U-bolts. Our bump stop relocation bracket brings it down a little bit so that the bump stop is still functional. And we've got a spacer on top of the shock here. So that's all that's required in the back. Now this is gonna be a 3-inch in the back, 4 in the front. So it's still gonna have a little bit of rake to where it's leveled out if you put a trailer or anything heavy in the bed instead of squatting. So if you guys are in the market for a small, no lift cut for your Silverado or any other make or model, CustomOffsets.com, check out the ReadyLIFT kits.